Hey guys, what's up? Caleb here with DSLR Video Shooter, and today I am updating one of my most popular videos. It's a video I did almost 3 years ago. It really needs to be updated, and that was this guy, the $20 shoulder rig that works perfectly for HDSLRs. At least that was the title of the post. And it was me, a little out of focus in my old backyard, and it's old. It's really old. So we're going to update that today with some new parts and some stuff that I would recommend today in the modern 2013 year. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and build it from scratch. And unlike the old video, I'm gonna link to all this stuff in the bottom of the post, so you can find that on DSLRvideoshooter.com. Now this is the same stinking shoulder rig that I reviewed 3 years ago. It's still with me, still a tank. It's been beat up, it's got scratches all over the place. It's completely plastic pretty much, except for 3 essential pieces of metal. That's about it. The bolts and the little tiny ring for your strap. But this thing has been with me for 3 years. I still think it's one of the best shoulder rigs for DSLRs. Very affordable. The price fluctuates, but it's between $20 and $35. And it is still comfortable. I still really like it. So what's changed though are the parts and components to building a more built up rig with this as the base. So if you just bought this thing, all that stuff that comes with it, just put that somewhere else. You're not going to be using it. And we're going to use parts from photography and cinema to build up a nicer rig. So the parts I'm going to be using is this base plate from photography and cinema. You can buy this on its own for $54, I believe. You could, if you have enough funds, purchase the Prime Video rig, which I've done a review, and I'll put that in the link in the show notes. That comes with it, as well as most of the other parts we're going to be using, but you're going to start with that. Then you're going to need 2 rods. The length of the rods is going to depend on what you want to do, but I would say at a minimum 12-inch rods. You might be able to get away with 8-inch, but 12 is nice to have. And then you're going to need a follow focus, and this is one from Camera. It's $100, 99 bucks, so that's cheaper than the defocus, which I had in my old video, and it's actually a little nicer. It's completely metal, only has one 15mm attachment point, which gives you a lot of flexibility. Then the final thing you're going to need is an actual handle setup. This is also from photography and cinema, but you could use really any handle, and I'm going to put a link to Amazon where you'll be overwhelmed with the selection. But on my old video, and I still like those old handles where it's right up there next to the attachment point. But you can also get ones like this that are longer. This has a foam grip, which is kind of nice. So you have a little bit of options, but these you can pick up, I mean, from $10 to $30 and beyond. So these are great. As well as the rods. Rods are around $30 on Amazon if you get the 12-inch ones. So let's go ahead and start putting this together. The first step, just take your base plate, go ahead and thread it onto the rig. It blows my mind that this thing is still here and in one piece, considering how much I've used it, in that it is mostly plastic, but it's such a trooper. So there it is, I have it on there. Next up, you're gonna grab your rods, gonna attach those. And really you only need one if you're going to be using the follow focus that I'm gonna be using, which only has one 15mm attachment point. And I'm only going to be using one handle, so I don't really need 2 rods. So that's really up to you if you want to use 2. I'm not going to, so I'm going to set that over there. Next up, grab the follow focus. I'm going to throw that on somewhere in there, that vicinity. And then finally, I'm going to get my handle, and we'll play with. That's what's cool about this, is you can flip it around, really attach it at any point on this 15mm rod. That feels really nice in there. Tighten that puppy down. Boom, and there you go. You have your rig all set up on this. The other good thing is you can attach and adjust, obviously, the chest part of the rig to adjust where you want this thing to set and rest. Boom, and there's your kit all set up. So now I'm going to grab a camera. I'll just throw the black magic on here just because I have it without a quick release. I'm going to take this off, see if I can do this without any assistance. tighten that down. Very nice. And I don't have a focus ring or gear on the lens right now, but it would be something like that. And that's it. So you have a nice, comfortable, you can adjust this a little bit to get it more in an ergonomic position. Got your camera right here. I can easily access the buttons and see the screen. This would be really nice if you had a monitor or an electronic viewfinder. I'm going to be reviewing some cheaper monitors coming up in the future, but as it is, you can make this work. And so when we're talking about price, we've got this guy, which is 30, this guy, which is 50, another 30, 100, and then the handles really depend, but we'll say 20 for now. So that adds up to 30, 80, 110, 210, 230. So around $230, and you have a very flexible, comfortable setup. And that's what's great is you can take this whole thing off, remove it completely, or just use the actual shoulder mount itself. And some of you may be thinking, well, at that point, you throw another $100 at it and you have a full shoulder rig. But this solution is really for people that don't have a lot of funds. If you're just getting started, it can be really daunting looking at all the gear out there. So you can slowly build this rig. You could just buy the base plate with your camera and the shoulder rig. Then you could add one rod. Then you could throw on the follow focus. Then you could add the handle and just slowly work your way up. And keep in mind, this is with only one rod, so I don't have to have two. So lots of flexibility. So that's the updated review of the Cowboy Studio shoulder rig, which is around $30. And then the rest of the gear you can find at DSLRvideoshooter.com. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to see actually photos of what you guys have used. And I know it's become a very popular rig. So stay tuned for more reviews and tutorials at DSLRvideoshooter.com, and I will see you guys online.